So if we have a world state graph, then it is very often a category, which is important potentially because category theory exists. People have thought about categories a lot. And category theory can be applied to this if we have a category. So in the simplest case, if we have a thing where we have a world state where we are in, for example, we have the grid world and we are in the center, and then we press W and then we move up. So like this could be like two sort of states of the world. And here's the transition function between it. And the player has like a bunch of actions, and one of the actions is the do nothing action.
Which is like an identity arrow. Yeah.
Yes. Then we have this. And so like imagine now, imagine this grid world is a bit larger. We have another cell over here. So we could now go up twice. Which would mean we start here, I guess. Yes, but that was unnecessary to draw. And then we go over here now. And this is the starting point, I guess. And we do W again. And here we could also do again nothing. And that's a category if we also add this arrow, which I mean, yes, we can also like just omit these arrows and just say we have also all of the arrows that we can compose with the arrows that we have. Like here we have this arrow, which is sort of, so that if we name these states, we need to kind of name them. You see like A, B, C, let's say. And this is like W and A. Well, I guess it makes more sense if we say it like this, maybe. For A, there is the action W. And here, now, this arrow, we can say, is AW, BW.
Yep.
We just like do first this path, then this, and then we go here.
Yeah.
To C. So we get.
Oh yeah. So well, I guess the question I had is will arrows that are like composed out of other arrows always reduce to exactly one set of like basic arrows or something? Like is it named after the
write it like this. Okay. It's just like the category definition of a category requires that the graph we're looking at has the property that if there is a path from A to C, then there is an arrow from A to C. Okay. Like there is also, like if I could add another thing, then I would need to add another arrow. I also need to add an arrow from here to here. Like I need that this goes here, or also I need that this goes here. So like you get lots of arrows in the category. And usually, but so far, if you write a world state graph, we like we don't have these arrows sort of explicitly, but like you can just easily generate and like you can easily make it a category by like either just saying yes, we also have these arrows that you could build out of the other arrows, or we could say, or we could just draw them. And now we could have like some other names for these arrows, like A, H, because like what are they? Like here, you sort of can uniquely potentially say, like the thing is also maybe I have two actions, right? In the category that's also important, we might have like two actions, maybe like F is forward or something, or arrow up, right? On the keyboards, there might be like press arrow up or W makes it does the same thing. So there might be multiple actions that have the exact same effect. And now we can say something like, H is sort of like, H is equal to AW, BW, but it's also equal to AF, BW. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. And here we would, I guess, need to say here's a C knob. This means just no operation. So all of these arrows, they have unique names. That's why I'm doing that in a category. Sure. And then we get all of these like, yes, look, these arrows are equivalent if they reach the same start and end point in this case, sort of. It's one definition that we could say. We could also define it in a different way. But we also need some notion of equivalence. Okay, so like, so in the case where I do an action and then the environment changes and I can do nothing and then the environment is the same, then it's always a category. Meaning, in such environment, we can apply all of category theory. I haven't figured out how to do this yet, but well, you can. Well, I figured out that you can do this because it's a category. And now that the thing that I wrote down that you ask about is about, okay, what if we are in an environment that changes? Like in Minecraft, maybe there is a pig that runs around and do nothing still runs around. So how do I do that? Now it's not the category anymore because there's no identity error. So the thing is, there is sort of a weird way which I don't know how exactly it would make sense, but one way in which you could still have an identity error is if you have sort of a path. If you're like, I start somewhere and then I go sort of on some path, but then there is a sequence of actions that I can take to go to the original state. For example, if I place some water in Minecraft, then it will like flow from the block where I place it. Like, for example, like I place some water, maybe there's some block here, and then I place some water on the block, and then the water will actually sort of like flow around the block. But I can actually remove the block, so it would go like, oh, I'm like here, and then oh, I'm like here, and oh, I'm like all around here. And the thing is that though I can like remove the water and then it sort of like stops flowing. Then I would get still some water over here. But then sort of it would stop. And at some point in Minecraft it would actually be such that sort of we would have no water anymore. So here there might be some more steps, but like so we can get back to the original state, but doing this entire sequence in some sense is the same as doing nothing. This is a circuit.
Right.
It like goes back to the same state. So in some sense we could say, okay, we have like, let's say we have like W1, W2, and so on. And then we could say like, okay, if we sort of like combine all of these, how do we say this? Well, I guess I could just say it like this, W1, W2, Wn, W0, but this is like Wn. This is this is W0. Here's some Wn somewhere. And I could say like, oh, look at this thing. What is this? It is sort of this thing. It is, if this is state A, then it would be AID.
Yeah. So I see how that could happen. How there could be like an action you take that sets in motion a chain of world state transformations that end up back where you started. But intuitively, this seems like
it doesn't need to be that you do one thing and then it like loops. It's like there is some sequence of actions you can do. It can be anything. Doesn't need to. You can do at any step. You can do something. Yes, it's like if there is a path that goes back, then we could say yes, then this identity error exists, because like it needs to exist, right? Because like like, because sort of like, if you, well, right now I'm thinking about like this. I think this is probably correct, or I'm not exactly sure because I don't know enough category, but it's like, here we were like, oh yeah, if I can go from here to here, then there must be an arrow from here to here. But I can go from here to here, so there must be an arrow from here to here, which is the identity, sort of, because it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
And actually,
there
there
might be
multiple.
many.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is one identity arrow. Like, but we could also have others. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then it's a category again.
Yeah, that's very cool. That makes sense in a world like Minecraft where you can literally return to like a previous state. It makes me wonder whether the real world is like that. Maybe this doesn't matter. Like, maybe the final thing that we have that's like has a world model and is making plans doesn't care about like every atomic fact about the universe. Like, it seems very hard to return the real world to exactly the state that it was previously in, ever.
Yeah, but if you abstract
But
the
at some
words
level of abstraction,
yes.
and for some local property, like, it seems like you could. So, and that seems okay.
Yeah.